Hey, Trent. May I
Yeah.
ever tell you have such beautiful eyes? Oh, are we live? Oh.
In crypto, speed matters, but trust matters more. At Caleb & Brown, you're never on your own. We connect you with your own personal broker and a 24/7 team, ready to help you buy, sell, or swap over 250 digital assets with one flat, transparent fee. No spreads, no slippage, no hidden costs. Get the best market prices through deep, aggregated liquidity executed by our professional trading desk. Your funds are secured with institutional-grade cold storage for total peace of mind. Track every move in real time with our intuitive client portal, anywhere, anytime. Whether you're trading as an individual, trust, or business, we give you speed, security, and peace of mind. Thousands of clients in over 100 countries already trust Caleb & Brown. Visit calebandbrown.com and start.
Disclaimer, not financial advice. We're not liable for any personal financial decisions. Thank you. Hey, Trent.
Yes,
I don't have tabs still.
I do.
Well, why do I not have them?
I don't know.
Oh,
That
okay.
was me.
Nope. I don't
That
have
was
them.
me yesterday, though. I don't know.
I didn't have them yesterday either, though, so it was weird. All right, guys, welcome in for another episode of Blockchain Brew Show. I am your host with the Trentinator. Trent, you know the Caleb Brown part at the very end of it? They go, hey, that's my favorite part, and you skipped it.
I know. I was early on it. What can I say?
Yeah. Hey, guys, if you like us being here together, smash that golden like button, but not down, but up, because that's what we like. Yo, 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 yo. Smash that like button. And we have the subscribe bell over here. We ring a ding ding and ring a ding ding, and you can find that subscribe bell in those corners over there, over on the right side for YouTube, and over here on the left side for Kick and Rumble. But YouTube, we have to ask, but Rumble and Kick, we grow just naturally. We actually had our best day for the most subs ever picked up in one day on Rumble. It's a fact. And it literally came out of freaking nowhere because you guys love us that freaking much. Even when our backs are turned, you guys are giving us high fives on the back. And it is a great thing to do. So, guys, thank you so much for joining us. We're going to do a couple breakdowns of crypto. We're going to do some TA for you. And we're going to teach you all about the exciting things to come. Now, I didn't bring any brew today, but I do have my French press with some good coffee, and I'll press it down so you guys can see it. Ready? 3, 2, 1, and go. It's not going very fast. It's supposed to go down faster. Maybe it's because I'm trying to do it in the air. I'm afraid it's going to shoot out. I'm going to burn myself. Okay, give me a second. Right. Oh, this one's just really stiff today. I don't know. Right. Maybe it's because it's really good coffee. I actually kind of made it slightly in a hurry. I usually let it sip a little bit. Wow, that was really steep and hard to push down. Woo! But we got it, guys. There we go. It's all the way down. I'm going to pour a little bit of Joe. Oh, watch it come out nice, green, brown color, hot and steamy. And as long as I'm paying attention, I won't pour it onto myself, which is always a terrible thing to do. I hate pouring it on myself. And yeah, I just noticed my wife didn't wash this mug overly fantastically clean. It's okay. It's a little OCD kicking in. What don't hurt you just makes you stronger, right? I mean, how can it be? I eat stuff out of the garbage, right, Trent? I can pretty much bulletproof now, man. I can withstand anything that goes in my guts. Trent, what do you got for us?
I'm excited to see what Day Lee has. Yeah, so today I'm bringing a double dry hop Faces of Phases. So this is actually one that I brought onto the stream a couple months ago, but they just released a double dry hop version. So
actually, what's it? I don't recognize the can art.
Because the can art was different colors, but it did always have that action figure Martian guy. So this is a double dry hop hazy triple IPA coming in at 10.4% on the dot. I actually posted a picture of this one on X the other day.
Did you?
Yeah. And here he said gross. Why gross?
Ted. We nerds aren't asleep. What's up, Daily? I brought my shirt again today just for you.
Here's our poor, as opposed to the rich.
Oh, Daily, that sounds good. He's doing a diplomatic single VTG 2007 rum.
Okay. You mixing it with anything or just straight?
What Trent? A VTG sounds like some sort of like award. What does VTG actually stand for? Do you know?
I don't know. I'm not really a rum guy. Vintage, maybe.
I like rum.
Vintage.
Oh yeah, you're right. Yeah, vintage.
Yeah.
That sounds good. I like rum. I like
on the rocks. That's usually how I like my bourbon. It's either on the rocks or over one big ice ball. I also like my bourbon neat though, with nothing in it, just straight bourbon. Now I will say, the Jack Daniel's Single Barrel Select and even just good old Buffalo Trace, it's easy to get where I'm at. Pouring it like 1-to-1 ratio with some Coke Zero, not too bad either. So
Coke Zero?
Yeah.
Oh, it has to be stronger than that. I like Coke Classic, maybe. That's where it's at, man. Lucas, welcome in, Lucas. What's up, man? Depending on what it is. With tea. You like tea, Lucas? You tea guy?
One thing I want to try is get a little dripper, and dripper, I don't even know her. Get a dripper with the Kentucky Keystone lime water, because that's what they distill the bourbon with in the first place, right? So that's what they use when they proof down the bourbon that comes out of the barrel, unless you're getting your stuff barrel proof, right? But get a little Kentucky Keystone lime water, and you put like a drip or two of water into your bourbon, and it just proofs it down ever so slightly. That's why like barrel proof bourbon is the way to go, because you can proof it down, but you can't proof it up. So
how'd that game go there, Lucas? Did they end up winning or losing?
Angels Envy pretty good.
I got an article pulled up for you, Trent. One of the ones that actually caught my eye, which I've never been a fan of Hyperliquid, is Maelstrom Worms Hype Token facing pressure with 11.9 billion unlocks ahead. Okay, well, the unlocks are actually happening in more of the bear market, and we could actually look at the unlocks coming. So I remember checking this out. I wasn't too worried about it, but the article I actually wanted to tell you about was, Aster, Trent,
we got you, Connor.
The Binance.
Have a good sleep.
You guys check out the charts info on AVNT on base heading to bed, but I'll tune back in and rewatch tomorrow morning. Have a good night. You got it, Connor. We'll do it in the chart segment with the first one. That way you know exactly where to look. What was I gonna say, Chad? So, height. What I was telling you about. So, Astrid, right? The Binance version of this.
Astrid.
Well, I always call it Astrid because it's like Office. They named their girl Astrid, and now she's my wife about it. So, anyways, Astrid actually passed the biggest day Hyperliquid's ever had in volume, and it's only been out for a week.
Yeah, dude, Astrid was running, man. It was running swiftly.
Yeah, so we got yeah.
It was running swiftly.
No, Astrid is flowing like straight out of you like lava. Well, so the first unlock comes out in January, right? So you really don't have to anything to worry until then. But then I think we were looking at it's like a point. It's 0.15% every week. I think it's what it is, and it just scaled up. Week. Yeah, so it unlocks 15% of every single week up to the next bull run. So it's like it's not terrible. I mean, I've seen worse. It's a CZ baby, Astrid. It is, man.
Mhm.
It is. So we'll see how it does. You know, I actually saw George today. He's like, well, some people don't like it because it's CZ. I'm like, who doesn't like CZ? Name like a single soul. The only person that doesn't like CZ doesn't like Binance because Binance had a few manipulating days, but CZ is just on the board now.
George is weird though.
Yeah.
I'm not a big fan of Binance either, but like, you know, it's a weird relationship in my mind. Like, I'm not a big fan of Binance, but I don't mind CZ.
You know, I actually wouldn't mind Binance if I could actually use it instead of stuck with Binance.us. You know, maybe that's what it is. There was another article too, Trent, that was I thought they would cover Powell, but did they not have one for Powell today? Like, isn't that one kind of like a major article? You know?
Well, yes and no. Like when I got an article pulled up, not about Powell, but I mean.
Why don't you take it then?
Well, yeah. So, look, Powell. Look, I'm just gonna go to that first, okay? If you go over here and you type in what did Powell say today, right? What you're gonna find is a whole lot of articles, and I'm just like giving you the synthesis of this. You're gonna find a whole lot of articles that say that he said nothing. You know, honestly, like people say that he was so. Oh, are you trying to tell me I'm not on the screen? Or
no? I was trying to tell you that I took a shower before I ate dinner, and Sarah was like, "Get out! We gotta pray right now for our food." I'm like, "Okay, I'm coming." And I smeared wax grease on my beard, and then I was like, "I came out, honey, so fast. I didn't rub it in until I went to afterwards." And I just remembered that I didn't rub it in yet, so I was rubbing it real quick. My hands all.
Basically, you're just gonna find a bunch of articles that. You know, tell us that Powell said that the Fed is still in a tough spot, right? But everyone says that he was so hawkish. The reason they say he was so hawkish is because he said that the upside risk to inflation is still a concern. And people say, oh no, he was hawkish. He's still concerned about inflation. No, duh, he's still concerned about inflation. Guys, mark my words, like we will see the Fed change their tune. I don't know when. Maybe when Powell gets out of power. I don't know. But we're gonna see the Fed change their tune. We're seeing the early signs of it. They're going to give up on bringing inflation back down to 2%. It will no longer be target 2. It will be target 3.
Target
3%. Yeah. 3% will be the new target. For the Fed, like I don't see any other way that doesn't happen because Powell right now is basically admitting that stagflation is here. He's basically admitting that the Fed can, and this is what they're saying is hawkish. Powell is admitting that the Fed cannot simultaneously boost the labor market and control inflation. And by control inflation, he means bring it down to 2%, which is why Target 2 is going to move to Target 3. Mark my words. Now, look, he said that, but he also said, guys, I have the whole speech pulled up right here if we really wanted to, dissect it line by line. That's what I do even more than crypto is like biblical interpretation. So I can exegete, a couple pages of text here, and we can look at it line by line and dissect every word he said. We're not going to do that because that would be a boring show. However, Powell additionally said, yeah, at this pace, we're not getting to 2%. DCA. Yeah, Powell also said that the job market still presents a higher risk than inflation right now, which is why you go over here to the Fed Watch tool, and guys, it's still showing another 25 bip cut in October. Nothing Powell said today changed that.
Zero.
So if it were really like crazy hawkish, guys, the tool would probably react if the Fed Watch tool would probably react if Powell said something crazy. So, rate cuts are still on. They're still late, but they're still on. So I'm not worried about anything Powell said today. I don't really care about anything Powell said today, to be honest. So in other news, USCFTC, the Commodities and Futures Trading Commission, approved tokenized collateral in derivatives trading. So I'm going to give you the headline to this article, and I'm not going to read it. The headline is basically that the CFTC approved the use of USDT. It approved the use of stablecoins, stablecoin collateral for derivatives trading. When you're trading commodities on the traditional markets, it's saying that you can pair those commodities against stablecoins when you're trading. So that's big. That means that traditional financial exchanges are, could be seeing like gold against USDT. Now we have that in crypto, right? We have tokenized gold against USDT. So not only are tokenized stocks and tokenized securities and tokenized commodities and tokenized treasury bills coming to blockchain, right? Stablecoins are also moving to traditional exchanges, meaning that they're going to have to build the rails for that. They're going to have to build the blockchain rails for that. So, right, blockchain is also coming to traditional financial instruments, to the point where down the road we're going to they're going to bleed into each other. They're going to be harder and harder to distinguish, which for the avid crypto moralist is not what we ever wanted, right? We wanted to disintermediate. We wanted to get them out of our business rather than all wrapped up in our business. Daily says, I can't post pictures in the Discord. I just joined your Discord. Okay, I'll take a look at that right when we get off. Or maybe, I don't know. Maybe you can take a look at it while I'm talking, or I'll take a look at it while you're talking. Either way, we'll all take a look at it right after the show. So there's that headline. And then last thing, I come over here to Watcher Guru on X. There's several things we had going on today.
Besides the whole Powell speech.
Yeah.
Mass liquidations.
Well, today was a flat day.
Coming up from it, sorry.
Yeah, Coinbase CEO Brian Armstrong says Bitcoin will reach $1 million by 2030. Did this really happen? Justin Sam Bankman-Fried posts good morning from prison. Wow. USDT issuer Tether seeks $20 billion at a $500 billion valuation, making it the most valuable private company alongside OpenAI. So Tether is seeking capital investment, and they're seeking to be valued at $500 billion, which would make it probably the second most valuable private company alongside OpenAI, which is staggering. CFTC, we read that article, and then I thought this was funny. Just in, YouTube admits the Biden administration pressured them to censor Americans, offering terminated channels the opportunity to rejoin the platform. Guys, that's crazy. YouTube is saying, hey, if we deleted your channel, come back, we'll try to make it right. By the way, we were pressured by the Biden administration to do so, to censor you on YouTube. That's crazy. YouTube definitely needs to pay for their sins on that one, which I guess it looks like they're trying to do, but so yeah.
I think I fixed it daily. Try it now. I think.
Yeah.
Oh, don't show me that. I don't want to see that. I'm just kidding. I'm just kidding. Hey, you should post a bottle of that rum, man. It looks slick.
Oh yeah.
Hey, there you go. I fixed it. That looks fancy, Daily. Whoa. Wow, you only have a couple shots of that left, bro. Oh, dude, that looks slick, man. Looks slick. Looks good. Well, I just realized I can see myself on your screen. Just laughing. I gotta rearrange some stuff. Cool. I'm glad we can take it taken care of. Oh, you threw me up. I didn't realize you threw me on the screen. Okay, so where we got going for us, guys? We're coming over here to Bubbles. We're on the day.
Hey, or actually, I'll ask you this in the Discord. Never mind. Go ahead.
Aster's leading the way, man. Started out today at $1.47. We're at $2.12 right now. So freaking Aster, man. Zcash following up in the top 100s, up 13.4%. Zcash is a smaller cap than Monero, right? Yeah, way small. Monero has it beat by a lot. It's crazy that Zcash is moving and Monero is not. Fund. I mean, I was thinking about longing this too. Is up. They dropped a lot for the week, almost down 25%. We have a little bit of stabilization right here. We might get a pump back up to this range right here, 7.4, and then continue down to the next low of 46 for a pump. I'm just kind of eyeballing it from where we're taking a look at. The biggest losers for the day is OG and IP. And OG was just created yesterday, so, take that with a grain of salt. Things don't just pop up at $1.1 billion out of nowhere. That's probably a scam or a honeypot. I don't know. I don't know anything about it, but I'm just pointing that out. We got Story IP, also one of those ones that just kind of popped up out of nowhere and is very oddly targeted. Don't know too much about it. So, yeah, there you go. Okay, we're going to jump over to CoinGlass. Let's go look over some data. I'm kind of curious on where we're at. Since we were having the best September of our life, so now we got to figure out if it's still the best September. So now we're at 3.8%. So, hey, we're not too bad, man, for the Septembers. Don't you worry. It'll be right back there at the top. It's all about the close. The monthly close is what we got. We have plenty of time for that.
That Jack Daniel's single barrel proof, underrated, man. Underrated. Sorry, I'm looking at this dude.
Would you ever overrate something that was overrated though?
Man, that's really tough because
how do I know you're not overrating this?
Because Blanton's is overrated. It is. And look, I'm saying that as a guy that drinks Blanton's, but Blanton's is overrated. There's just no way that it should ever go for $200 a bottle. That's not what I pay for it. But there's no way it should ever go for $200 a bottle when it's like 90
Proof.
when it's 90 proof. Is it 90 or is it
I just like taking guesses.
93 proof? Like, come on, like $200 a bottle, like you need something barrel proof for that. So
Well,
that's my opinion.
I'm over here on the weekly chart right now, not weekly, but weekly for the week liquidations for Bitcoin. And you know what I kind of see, Trent? We originally were puffing up around over here. He's like, well, we're going to go after and take out these shorts, or we're going to come down. Well, we came down, we took out a good chunk of longs. And then we kind of chilled out, man. We really chilled out. There wasn't a whole lot above us. And then we started getting more longs coming in. And then, dude, it just stairwell dropped, took those ones out too. And there was a fat stack down here, man. It was a fat stack. So we came down, took them out. We came down. People started panicking. Boom, we hit them once. People like it's paying over. Boom, we hit them again. And boom, we hit them again. So to me, we were saying all along that we're going to come back down to 110 now. We do have some range for like 109 pocket or 108 pocket, but there's not too much more liquidity. And we'll probably spend the next week trading sideways and let the longs and shorts come in. And then we'll decide if we want to move up or down. That's just going off of the liquidations, because before the market makers want to move again, they want to make some money. So they might give it away because people get impatient and they want to long everything. What's up, Joe? How you doing, my friend?
Welcome in, Joe.
Because are my favorite. Okay, so I'm going to come over to the chart. We're going to check out. Oh yeah, charting. Before we go into Bitcoin, we told Connor that we're going to take a look at AVNT, which I have pulled up right here. When I'm looking at this chart, we're making a flag pattern right here. I think we tried to break out. We broke back in a couple different times. And I think you could have, the measured move of $3. But when I use in Market Cipher and I stretch it out on larger time frames, we already had a pretty good move up. And I'm seeing money flow come down. Stokes, RSI, and strength are coming down on the 4-hour. We do have an anchor trigger to the downside with a VWAP. We go to a larger time frame like the 12, is it 8 or 6? 6-hour, 8-hour. We show the blue momentum wave still carrying down with the VWAP. Now we are coming up to, we could meet the 21 at like 68 cents. That could be, or 70 cents. That could be our first little, if we fall below that, where we can stop for a minute. But then I think we're really eyeing like the 140 to 109 range, because it did run up almost. And it looks like, I don't know if this is a launch or not, where I pulled the data. I can't remember where I pulled it from, but wherever I got it, it literally looks like it just ran straight up. So to me, it does look like it's oversold and can come back down. Strength, we've been losing strength. I thought I saw something on the charts, but I didn't see it. So we're kind of playing within a range right now. I would be careful too, because I was looking at the 1 hour, not 1 hour, the 4-hour was I was looking at. We did have a fake out right here where it made you feel like it was back on and we're going to keep going up. Well, also, we didn't make a higher high. Now, we're currently in a spot where we haven't made a lower low, and the DBSI, though, shows that it's been, the bears have been gaining strength, and the money flow, like I said, Stokes, RSI, and everything else, the whole shaboodle, shows that it looks like we might be losing our support. So just kind of keep an eye on it. I think long term, I think that we need a reset before we can continue going, and I think maybe a 50% drop from the top, we eyeball like the 150 to 140 range. That's just what I'm thinking. I don't know anything about it. Is it on CMC?
Can you refresh your chart or expand your chart?
Yes. Do you like it when I shrink it?
Well, I was just saying Joe was giving us a pro tip in the chat.
Oh, I can't see it. Too scrunched up to see. Can you take a look at Toshi? Absolutely. I can take a look at Toshi. Give me 1 second, and I'll throw that Toshi in real quick. I kind of wanted to see what AVNT does. AVNT. You guys can't tell, but when I was thinking, why is it glowing? Have you ever seen that, Trent?
It's marketing. They pay for that to happen.
Well, they just ran out. I was thinking of everybody when I was looking at that chart because I didn't see a Joe's message, and you're like, "Can you expand it?" I'm like, imagine everybody in the chat like having the squinty eyes trying to read it with the chart.
Hey, Joe's saying that AV&T is Brian Armstrong's dad.
Next, a very high probability of successful. A
So,
successful asset new setup.
Now
This
it
is
has to
easy.
compete with it has to compete with Aerodrome though.
Airdrome sucks. I've been telling you that for so long. I've been telling you for so long. There's no reason to buy Aerodrome.
Yeah,
Or
but
I've ever
Aerodrome
known.
has first mover advantage.
Yeah, but you can use Tether. Why use Aerodrome when you can use Tether? It doesn't make any sense.
What
It
do you
doesn't.
mean? What do you mean use Tether though?
You can borrow with Tether. You don't have to use the Aerodrome token. And same thing, like think about Cake swap. You can use Cake. Cake's the dollar value. You use everything on Cake. You don't use a stable coin to lend. And Aerodrome you can. And so that's the problem with Aerodrome is that there's not a huge reason to hold the token. So
Philosophically though, I mean, one could say that by extending freedoms to to users, that it's actually going to create more usage in general. People actually argue that you don't have to use XRP, that banks don't have to use XRP in order to use Ripple's on-demand liquidity.
Nope. Nope, you're wrong because
I know.
Because why do you think they invented real USD? It's built on top of Ripple. Ripple's a layer 1. Things are built on top of it, which you have to have it to interact. You don't need Aerodrome to interact with the Tether network.
Right.
That's the difference.
Right. Yeah. Again, though, the network effect could be greater by allowing people those freedoms. Just philosophically, someone could argue that. You have to see 3 years down the road if it plays out to be true or not, but.
Yeah. So anyways, what are they looking at? So a lot of the unlocks, well, that's crazy, dude. They just had a fat unlock at Avantis. It really went from, I guess this came out in July. When did this unlock happen? September. Yeah. It did have a fat unlock. Holy cow! 20% of supply just got unlocked, Trent. Like 22. And now that'll be pretty slow. Unlocks up to July next year, and then it starts getting pretty aggressive with the unlocks. By July, we'll have only 10% more unlocked, and then it gets pretty aggro.
Hey, this is a.
It's also an RWA. Avantis is an RWA, DEX, and DeFi built and backed by Base. That's pretty cool. Actually, did you hear that Base might be coming out with the token?
This is a crazy point, by the way. Also, I'm my apologies. I forgot to tell the chat. I said welcome in, Joe, but I forgot to tell the chat. Everyone, go like and sub to Joe's channel, Trade Intuition on YouTube. Yeah. He's over 2,000 subs. He's a nice guy. I see him on his lives, shouting out other creators constantly. And that's something that I don't see a lot of people do out there. So everyone go.
Miles, TA, he has good experts. He's a good guy, man.
Yeah.
What was I saying? So Avantis was pretty good. I was just listening back to the Brian Armstrong interview he did with Sean Ryan, talking about how this DeFi lending and stuff. But
look at what Joe's saying right here, though. I mean, like,
this is AV&T has these decks.
Yeah, AV&T has a $519 million market cap, while Aster, CZ's DEX, has a $3.2 billion market cap right now. So
I'm kind of curious
between those two numbers is wild. And if we think that Brian Armstrong's DEX is worth being anywhere near as valuable as TZ's DEX, then it should tell you that this gap is going to close at least a little bit. So
did Coinbase list Aster yet? I know Binance doesn't have it. its
I
own
saw it
coin.
pop up the other day. Yeah.
I know Binance doesn't have it. The charts are pretty similar to already AVNT to Asterd. Asterd's just been going straight up. AVNT looks like it's also been going straight up. It's hard for me to think that it can go straight up without a retest. But I mean, look at Hype. Hype did it.
Aster, I don't even know her.
Ask her. They should call it Asked Him.
Well,
there's not a lot of crazy data on it. I mean, look at the 3 hour on Asterd, and then look at the 3 hour on AVNT.
yeah. I do want to hop over here and make some notes about Bitcoin real quick.
All right, wait, no, let me cover it real quick, and then you can take over.
All right.
I just want to point out one more thing, Trent.
Yeah.
So when I'm looking at Asterd and versus AVNT, Asterd did this, came up and did a double wick down, and then it continued with a W pattern. AVNT, if you kind of scrunch it up, you kind of got that whole W pattern kind of going on. So hey, you know what? Maybe this is a good time to buy. Risk versus reward, right?
Yeah.
Joe said, "Let me know if you can see his link." Oh my gosh, gold's at $44. I mean silver at $350.
I cannot see a link in the chat now.
It compares the two coins. That W pattern is what Bitcoin looks like it's doing too. Yeah, I don't know. Maybe more slanted. I don't quite see it as much. I'm also not overly bullish right now in Bitcoin. We have definitely came down to this.
Bullish.
Are you bullish?
Yeah, look, that's, I mean, I'm not saying we don't get another drop. I'm just
we're
saying.
Below the 200, we're below the 21. I mean, yeah, I'm bullish. I'm not saying it's the bear market, but Stokes RSI are coming down on Market Cipher. Strength's coming down. Money flow's been hugely out. We do have a momentum wave up, but the VWAP's coming down, so it's kind of making me feel like more of a fake out like vibe. We come to the 4 hour though. We do have a double green dot, which is a good sign to see, and we do have the VWAP slight breaking up on the larger time frame. Doji candle, TBSI showing strength. The 4 hour, but the 12 hour hasn't got there yet. I don't know, Trent. I would like to see maybe more what tomorrow does. I still think in the ballpark of we can come down to 110. Now, how are we going to get there? I don't know. It's hard to say because like what brought us down in the first place was the mass liquidations. I don't know. Why don't you show us what you're thinking?
Yeah.
That's what you did earlier. I clicked the Caleb Brown thing at the same time you did, and then I didn't touch it, and then you clicked it twice, expecting me to touch it.
After it happened, I realized what happened, but then I was like, I made a note to myself that like whoever starts the stream, like we should know that's the one that's like clicking through. Anyways, let's see here.
You're taking away my only job I'm good at.
No, I was just getting started.
It's getting started in here.
So guys, Bitcoin on the 4 hour chart.
That's Taylor Swift.
It is not. Bitcoin on the 4 hour chart. And I will look at that daily DCA. I agree with you. Now,
what's your favorite Taylor Swift song?
My favorite Taylor Swift song. Ooh.
Yeah. Favorite.
Anything from the Folklore album, like, you know.
What year is that?
Betty is like pretty solid. What year is Folklore? It was COVID. It was like 2020.
Oh.
Because she did all the recording in a cabin, and you know, it was like. Anyways, sorry, I'm
Oh, so happy
nerd.
that the poll got out of October 1st. I was like, really? I mean, and I was like, does everybody think the altcoin season is really going to start in Q1 of 2026? now we got more in October.
Yeah. So Bitcoin on the 4 hour. And I will cover that daily DCA. I agree with you, but there's a couple important things to me right now on the 4 hour. And unfortunately, I had removed all of my drawings. So I do have a couple of horizontal lines of support and resistance to add back in here. One of them was at about $10,800. Bam.
You can just add them in real quick, Trent. I was going to say, when we have to sign a lot of paperwork like every quarter at work, Trent, and they always stick it out on like all these counters for everybody just to walk in and sign because they really don't care about us signing the paperwork. And I always like to get there early. I always like to be the first one to sign it. And I like to put the wrong day off by like one day, and then watch people just come in because they're in the morning. They just copy the same date that you do, and then next thing you know, there's a whole page of wrong dates.
So, guys, on the 4 hour, we have what appears to be a bear flag, and it appears to be a bear flag that is forming below the 200 period moving average. Now, the measured move of this flag, you take the pole, and then you move it down. The measured move of that flag is going to come down here to $107,900. It's going to come basically to 108. Now, here's what you have to keep in mind about this. There's a couple points. Number one.
I just saw DL's cabinet of.
Oh, yeah. Number one, if we were to break bearish out of this flag, out of what appears to be a bear flag, it is not guaranteed that we complete the entire measured move. Right? Like, look how low the MACD is. Like the stochastics and the RSI have bottomed. Yeah, they could come down again, but RSI would be making a move from 35 rather than making a move from, a higher position. It's just not guaranteed. Measured moves are not a guarantee. It can stop somewhere in the middle of that. Now, here's the other thing. Someone could have said that this up here was a bull flag. And that didn't break bullish. So sometimes like these things don't do what you typically expect them to do. You have to take in other indicators into your analysis here. Now, why should we have not treated this as a really bullish bull flag? Well, you had bearish divergence up here, right? See the bearish divergence? A swing up on price with a swing down on RSI, right? So the bearish divergence was telling you that although you could draw some lines and say, hey, that's a flagpole and this is a flag right here, it's there's probably something that you're not seeing, because this bearish divergence is going to prevent that from happening. Well, in like manner, I'm going to erase a lot of this going on here, because in like fashion, we actually have a bullish divergence on the 4-hourly RSI coming in right now. And we have that drawn from, this swing down on price with a swing up on the RSI. Classic bullish divergence. And look what happens as soon as we get that bottom point on the RSI that we can draw a line to. We get these two nice bullish candles right here on the 4-hourly. So now the only thing that is left that's kind of concerning is the fact that this 21 moving average is coming down to meet the 200. But let's back test it and let's ask ourselves, see, like, this time right here, not good. Look what happened afterwards. A bunch of not good stuff, right? Mm-hmm. But let's back test it and ask ourselves, are there times where the 21 crosses the 200 and serves as a lagging indicator rather than a leading indicator, right? And I would say yes. Look at this time right here, right? The 21 crosses the 200, but the price action is already on its way back up. And yes, it made a little higher low right here, but then it rocketed after that. And the point is, I could go back through and back test more of those examples for you. I was looking at it this afternoon, but my basic point is that, there is nothing preventing this from being a lagging indicator. It's definitely happened before. So, I still think that when we go to the daily, let me reset my chart here. I still think that when we go to the daily, that we're looking at an inverse head and shoulders, right? Left shoulder, head, right shoulder. So I still think that we have an inverse head and shoulders there. Stochastic RSI is very low on the daily. It's below the zero line. It's below the dotted line. It's basically at zero right now. So I don't know. To take this crash down here to 107, I'm not sure that there's enough momentum to complete that move. Furthermore,
you think it's farther down?
Huh?
You said you don't have enough momentum to complete that move. You talking momentum to the downside?
To 107.
Yeah.
Or 108, yeah. Because the stochastic RSI is at zero already.
Is there anything bullish coming out this week, Trent?
Well, September 30th, we should see some sort of progress on market structure bill. Other than that, I don't know off the top of my head.
Joe had a question for you too.
Oh, yes. Trent, you mentioned bearish div, but had a bull flag and price went down. Question, could the price have gone up due to bull flag even though there was a bearish div? Yeah, I mean, who am I to say it can't? I'm just saying it didn't. And, just in my own personal analysis, I've seen other times where it didn't. And in my limited scope of knowledge as a technical analyst, I've found divergences to be stronger indicators than patterns. So that's just me. Yeah, could the price have gone up? Yeah, it certainly could. Moving averages are lagging indicators. When you see a golden or death cross, the move has already happened. Exactly. The MAs are catching up to price action. I don't trade the crosses. It all depends. Sometimes I do. Like, I'll trade a cross if the RSI shows me confidence, right? Like, if we break above the 200 moving average and the stochastic RSI is very low and the RSI is neutral to low, and maybe MACD gives us a bullish cross below the zero line, then yeah, I'll trade the hell out of that cross.
Sergio, welcome in, brother. Based on the low volume, I think the likely outcome is we test the 200 on the daily around 103.800.
I'm not with it on that. I get what you're saying, and again, who am I to say that it can't happen?
That would be pretty nasty. Like, that would be a pretty nasty drop. It is definitely feasible to do that, and I hope we don't do that. But I can't say it's out of the realm of impossibility.
Yeah.
I said I'm more bearish. I think before we get to 103, it's possible, but we'd have to hit the 110. Then we have the next support level at 108, 500. Then we have 105. Then we got 103, or wherever maybe the 200's at 105 by that point.
At that point, we're making a more macro lower low. I mean, if we look at it on the weekly, like 103, yeah. I don't know. I'm personally.
I mean, it's been a long time since we visited the 200. Back in March 2025 is when we last visited it on the.
Well, on the daily, that's March.
When we came down to it versus
but look, this time back here in June, like, this blue line, the 100, was below the 200, and at that point, I consider this a test of the 200. You're a little ways off of it, but personally, I consider that a test of the 200. So, I
always forget your 200 is a different color than mine.
And then also the 21 period moving average is not on the daily, is not curving down. It's flat. So, the fact that it broke below the 50, it started to round up, and now it's like squeezing really, really tight with the 50, with the yellow line, shows me that it really wants to get above that, to reclaim that 50. And again, the stochastic RSI is at 0. So my question is, what are we going to do? If we're going to go to 107, right? If we're going to go to 103, what are we going to do to get this stochastic RSI?
Costa, I use Market Cipher. I got you.
What are we going to do to lift this stochastic RSI up from 0 so that it can take another dip afterwards, right? Like, I don't know. We've got to do something. And if we bounce enough to do that, the question is, are we confirming this as an inverse head and shoulders pattern on the daily? And are we confirming this this bounce off of support at, somewhere above $110,800? So that's just me. That's why I'm not quite so bearish right now. Anyways, I'll take it back over to you.
What's up, Jason Becker?
Hey, for anyone that's just joining us right now, you can do your favorite segment. It's probably a good time with all.
Yeah, I had it up, but I was just going to show. I have Market Cipher, and I definitely would cover Bitcoin. We definitely cover ETH and all sorts of fun stuff. Market Cipher is the best, and not only do we use Market Cipher, but Trent is on a first name basis with Mr. Crypto Face. So you never know.
So yeah, for anyone that's just joining us right now, I want to ask you guys humbly to smash the like button, subscribe to the channel, and turn on those notifications to join the Brew Crew, the most hydrated crypto community on YouTube. And you'll touch T-Square right in his banana zone, which just happens to be his heart. So.
I got 2 hearts, I guess. Does he have a chin? Haha, always wearing a mask. Yes, he does, actually. Yes, he does. Does money flow look bearish on higher time frames? I don't have Market Cipher, but money flow is pretty telling sometimes. Dude, I was saying that I'm pretty bearish on it. Here, and I can see the money flow right now. I'll actually zoom it in. But before we get there, I'm going to my favorite segment. Guys, we partnered up with BitFi, okay? Blockchain Brew and BitFi over there. No KYC, no VPN. You save 20% on your trading fees using our link. I just changed my camera somehow. Whoa, that messed up my mojo. You guys are new to trading and you want to learn, you can deposit $100 and you get a $60 bonus, which is 60% of your money. If you're more advanced, you can deposit $500 and get a $100 bonus. If you're skilled, you can deposit $1,000, get a $200 bonus. And if you're a very advanced skilled trader, you've been doing it for a long time, you can deposit $5,000 and get a $1,000 bonus. But that's not just Tether, guys. You can do Cardano, XRP, ADA.
A mix of all of them.
Most people don't have ADA, so you should do XRP. And I should said Cardano and ADA, but you know what I mean.
I wasn't going to call you out.
Yeah, I was on the flow. You can do Bitcoin, Ethereum, whatever you want. You can get your deposit. If you want to trade the full thing, go ahead. If you can't afford to trade it, you don't want trade with your Bitcoin. You can just throw it back into your cold storage and just trade $1,000. I just want to say, be careful not to get liquidated, guys, because we don't want to see anybody get hurt. Okay, getting hurt sucks. We can't give you financial advice, but if you join the Discord and you post your charts in there, we can help show you what we're looking at using Market Cipher and trying to do traditional TA on your charts. We actually are enticed to do it and give you the best rating we can, because we get kickbacks on trading fees. That's how we support the channel. We put it all back in the channel. And I just got a new mic because this mic sounds like terribleness. So thank you guys for the support, and I can't wait to get the new mic hooked up so you guys can see and hear me more clearer. But and also, if you sign up using our link and go into the Discord, we have a VIP segment that you get for free right now because we're not at 500 subscribers yet. We're getting close. We only got 13 spots left before the Discord gets gated. But you can get in the VIP group, and there's calls from the top ROI traders in BitFi, and you can actually use that to either help educate yourself, review the charts, figure out why they see this versus what you see, and help educate yourself and to build that in there. It looks like Trent's going to show you guys. Pull it up. Price predictions for XRP in your own opinion. I follow All In Crypto, Mr. Costa. I'm calling $19.27, and I think that could be a wick. I think a safe bet is $10 to $12, but
unless we roll into next year and have an extended cycle,
I do believe.
Then I'm thinking $10.
I think Trent. I think we might roll into an extended cycle. I have a theory on the rate cuts. We'll be pumping up to December, get a couple different rate cuts, and we'll get like a drop for a few months, and then in May when Powell walks away, that rhymes. Hey. You know, what's that mean? And we replace Powell. Trump's administration will take full control of the Fed. We do a couple more rate cuts. Boom, there's a second top right there. We run into the midterms, which is traditionally the bottom. So you can expect some pretty crazy turmoil right there between May and December if this all plays out, because the Democrats want to win the midterms and the Republicans want to win the midterms, and both parties are going to be playing dirty as they can dirt-play. So the market's going to get real wild.
I'll put it this way.
I totally got derailed.
This year, I don't see over $10. Maybe on a way.
You said you didn't think over a dollar when it was 16 cents either.
I didn't say that.
Yeah, you did.
I'm too late to crypto to have seen XRP.
Guys,
I was in it 2021.
He's on the stream. Yeah. I'm just kidding. I'm just teasing.
Okay, so the BYDFi VIP bot in our Discord, what it does is it aggregates the trading behavior and the coins that are being traded by all of the top ROI traders on the exchange. And so every day it pumps out swing trading signals, scalp signals. I mean, look at this call on BNB. 84%.
They crushed that.
31% on PA. So it pumps these out every night, and then it also gives a market analysis every night. So here's yesterday at 10 p.m. This was the Ethereum update. It says what just happened. Ethereum broke out of a big downtrend that lasted almost a year. This is usually a sign that the trend is changing from bearish to bullish. Important price zone, the area around $4,100 to $4,200 was a strong resistance. Price struggled there before. Now ETH is retesting it as support. If ETH holds this level, we could see another strong rally. If it breaks down, price might drop to $38.50 to $39. Where can ETH go next? If support holds, ETH can pump to $5,600 in the coming weeks. Bigger picture, there's room up to $7,500 to $9,000 long term if the bull run continues. What to watch for if ETH falls below $38.50, the bullish setup weakens and we could see a dip back toward $3,000 to $3,200. I don't see that. ETH is bullish overall, but right now it's at a test zone. If it holds above $4,100, expect higher prices. If not, prepare for a dip. patience and discipline win in this market. And there's all the logic for their analysis. You can see the long-standing horizontal line of support and resistance right here. This constitutes the support resistance flip, and then you have the larger trends to watch out for. So yeah, there you go.
I just want to shout out Costa. It's okay to have a different opinion than everybody. There is an 8-year chart pattern why I'm predicting this price for XRP. It's not like I'm a moon boy. There's actually traditional math equations behind this. And also, you have to remember, XRP has passed Ethereum multiple times in the past. And it's going to go way above $5, good sir. I mean, the ETFs haven't even been approved yet. What do you think they're waiting for? It's going to be a giant bag of all these things coming out first.
Costa, if Ripple IPOs, there's no. It's hard to put a price on that. Like you have to account for again. Look, without SEC suppression, XRP has flipped Ethereum in the past, and I'm not saying it's going to flip Ethereum. I'm just saying getting higher than where ETH is at right now is definitely a possibility.
And I'm
not saying $19. I'm saying 10, unless we have a super cycle. But that is not outlandish. That's aggressive, but it's not outlandish.
Hey, you said it didn't do it, Costa. If it did it for a day, it still did it. That, if you make a bet and the bet's won even for it's an hour, you still lost the bet.
The real question is, are you hedging against risk? The real question is if ETH is at $5 if XRP is at $5 and you have enough XRP to significantly change the quality of your life at $5, are you taking profits? Are you hedging against risk? None of our price predictions really matter if you're hedging against risk.
Another thing too,
so if you want me to come down from the moon and not be a moon boy, I'll do that. We do that all the time. Hedge against risk. That's the game. But I'm just saying $10 is aggressive. It's not outlandish.
And also, think about this. $4 billion is what caused the liquidation, not just this last week, but the week before that in Bitcoin. $4 billion. Bitcoin's, what's Bitcoin? A $1 trillion market cap, Trent? Frickin', it's like, where is Bitcoin at?
Hey, look, can $10 billion realistically flow into XRP? When XRP gets an ETF approved, can $10 billion realistically on spot flow in to XRP? Because if so, we all know that derivatives means that number is not, is not a $10 billion inflow is not a $10 billion move.
Yeah.
It could be a $100 billion move if we're in the height of bull market volume on derivatives.
People using leverage and all sorts of crazy stuff.
So look, I mean, if you think that with ETFs coming that $10 to $20 billion can flow into XRP, that probably will take it to a $500 billion market cap. So,
and also, you say we're not going into a super cycle. That's what everyone's saying. Well, everybody has a different opinion on what a super cycle even actually is. Some people say a super cycle is like the same size of a normal cycle, but double everything. Some people think a super cycle is a year longer than a cycle. Some people think that 4-year cycle is changing a little bit every single cycle, and we tend to rhyme. And I was watching Token Metrics, and they say the average cycle is growing just a little bit longer each time. Now, I'm not necessarily saying that, but I think I'm a 4-year cycle type of guy, and until otherwise proven differently. But being on here, just like when I look at the charts, I represent different ideas, and I'm leaning towards there's a stronger possibility now than it was a year ago that we couldn't get a second leg up in May or June, And
No,
that's
it didn't do it. It didn't do it in the bear market, Costa. It did it at the very top. I don't understand why some think that every cycle must repeat like the prior cycle. Elongated cycles, or as you say, extended cycles, wouldn't doubt if we see highs until 26. We'll see. Yeah, guys, I'm posting a video tomorrow. It's a clip of our last discussion with JJ's Cryptic Corner. And the basic premise is that with diminishing losses, diminishing returns and diminishing losses, if we see a 50% correction on Bitcoin, a 50% correction against the primary trend, like, guys, in May of 2021, during the May crash, Bitcoin dropped 50%, and it only took 3 months to recover from that.
And
So at a certain point, if volatility continues to restrict and losses continue to diminish, there's no way that we continue to get, 18-month long bear markets.
yeah,
There's just, and look, it's a year to the bottom, okay? But then it's very boring sideways action after that. You're still in the bear market. So there's just no way that if losses continue to diminish, Bitcoin will recover from those losses much more quickly, meaning that what I see is that we start to have smaller cycles within cycles. And you had DeFi summer in 2020, summer of 2020, before the bull market really kicked off. Who's to say that we can't have a big relief rally on Bitcoin in 2026 and altcoins absolutely fly to some new highs while that happens? We don't know. Things are changing. Institutions and the U.S. government are changing the game.
yeah. And Sergio, I want to answer your question first. You said that, to be realistic, the old alt seasons where everything pumped hard for a period of time ain't happening. New retail no longer interested. Well, if you really want to know what retail's interested in, Trent, and if you know what retail's interested in, go to Robinhood. They don't have a bunch of coins. They have a select many. Also, yeah. I think Ted's right. I think retail will show up. They always do. Yeah. And then Costa, you say ETH has an ETF and buyers prefer BTC over it. That's not true, because look at Tom Lee. What's he buying? He's buying ETH, buying a lot in ETH. Guess what? If you've tracked the top biggest whale wallets, like old school, that don't move Bitcoin, they just sold a bunch of Bitcoin. That's what caused the price to drop. What did they buy? They bought Ethereum. Ethereum. You can't say that ETH has an ETF and nobody prefers it, because that's not true. It's just not true. That's a fact.
Grayscale is not going to have altcoin ETFs for no reason.
Yeah, they're accumulating it, and they want you to have that fear of that it's never going to happen. That's what they take advantage. They buy the fear. They want to give it maximum fear before they can buy it.
This is why you come to the Brew Crew for some drunken TA and some hostile debates.
And I like this too, Costa, because I don't want to be stuck in tunnel vision either. So I do appreciate the different points of opinions. I just think that I have a counter argument to why I think they are right.
Shout out to 488, by the way.
I guess what I'm saying is that one needs to be buying quality projects, because liquidity is too spread out with the massive qualifications of coins compared to the past pools, which probably could happen. Regulations can kill 90% of all the coins eventually, right? I don't know. The SEC is pretty much giving everything the green light, but if the projects do die, they do. They all become a meme point sooner than later. I've learned not to get emotionally attached to coins. I buy and tell myself only convictions that I am loyal to make more money and cash out to more BTC, and BTC is my end game. I think that's a lot of people. I mean, I was listening to Andrew Tate on AJ Writes Crypto, so shout out to AJ Writes Crypto. And you know what he said? He said that Andrew Tate said he had an interview with Michael Saylor. Michael Saylor told him, he's like, look, if I'm not smart enough to be able to time the market, what makes you think you are? And you should just DCA and hold. And I think a lot of people are just buying DCA and holding stuff. And that's another thing that could cause the bear market, guys, is because not a lot of people that are getting into Bitcoin, that are companies, are used to the volatility of crypto. And they might over leverage themselves, because it doesn't take a lot for those companies to do that, because they don't understand the volatility.
Yeah. So speaking of XRP,
I don't think I would not put Tom Lee in retail.
well, he's saying, well, that's the greater than symbol. He's saying retail is more important than Tom Lee. He's saying getting retail inflow is more important than having Tom Lee, which I don't know. I'm not so sure about that. That's like saying that having retail in Bitcoin is more important than having Michael Saylor. So
that's like saying rock beats scissors, but then you need paper to beat rock. So we all have to work in an environment. You can't go. I'm gonna be rock every time, and Trent's gonna be scissors. It's gonna be a very boring thing. You gotta have.
Oh no, Costa, I was making a joke about myself. I didn't say you were being hostile. I said because I could feel myself kind of, I don't know if I'd say raising my voice, but I could feel myself kind of aggressively making a point. So that's why I said you come for some drunken TA and some hostile debate. I was joking about myself. I wasn't saying you're being hostile. Look, there's definitely going to come a time as this channel grows that we do get people in here that are just simply here to be trolls. And we'll just have to block them. There's going to be no other choice because we can't let the whole audience be held captive by one troll. But like,
I like Costa. I think he could be a good mod someday because I like the ability. He keeps the tunnel vision out.
Yeah. So right. So other than that scenario, I wouldn't call one of our audience members hostile. Like you being on this stream right now is yeah, trolls equals you made it, exactly. Like you being on this stream right now is like is a much appreciated not so small part of our growth. Like I wouldn't just come at you and say that you're hostile. I was making a joke about myself. Anyways, so speaking of XRP, I meant to show you guys this last night, and a lot of you probably already know about it, but Ripple backed Epic Chain to launch XRP-powered RWA tokenization platform. Now, I'll spare you the article. I'm not going to read it. But guys, this Epic Chain began on Ethereum. Sorry, still congested from being sick, but chill, no trolling. I like to talk about crypto. Yeah, I'm not talking about you. I'm just saying one day we will have them.
Behind you.
But,
that's perfect there.
Yeah, Epic Chain, originally on Ethereum, has now integrated XRP Ledger support, and Ripple has invested big time into Epic Chain. As of earlier this year, Ripple made a $20 million investment into Epic Chain. And when you go to the website, let me just go to the website instead of this.
When did it come out? Because Bubbles only says March.
Yes, but it was originally Ethereum. It's an EVM compatible XRP Ledger token. So let's see here. Epic Chain.
Hey, hey, Costa, you want a coin to take a look at? Look up SHX.
So this is only like a $60 million market cap. And
yeah,
$60 million market cap, and it's says the world's fastest growing RWA ecosystem. Let's see here. Literally the other day on the website I saw where it said it's fastest growing RWA ecosystem backed by Ripple. Which it does say that somewhere. Now
backed by Ripple.
Anyways, I'd have to search around for it here, but you can see on the article, Ripple backed Epic Chain, right? What Ripple did They
Well,
invested like over $20 million in it, and its integration with Ripple USD or Real USD allows native USD settlement, which is a critical feature for institutional yields, treasury management, and cross-border payments. Oh, that's the really important thing about this. So, guys, with Epic, you have access to all of these tokenized markets. It says every RWA market in one platform: real estate, luxury goods, commodities, tokenized bonds, equities, treasury bills, asset-backed securities, money market funds, consumer and collectibles. So, guys, the thing about this is that you can own tokenized real-world assets on Epic Chain, and you earn a yield against your holdings. Well, the yield that you earn on your holdings, you earn it in XRP. So say you have X amount of fractional real estate that you own on Epic Chain. Well, the yield that you're earning on your tokenized RWAs, you're earning that yield in XRP, growing your XRP stack while being exposed to tokenized real world assets. Epic Chain is one of those low tap things that's really worth picking up on, in my opinion, because it's backed by Ripple and you earn XRP as yield. So what do you think about that?
I got distracted looking at
Oh, for sure.
Epic Chain, I don't know what I don't know.
Yeah.
I can't just go ham into a project because they slapped XRP in their name. Didn't you guys watch that Netflix documentary about, what's it called, Bitcoin? And they slapped Visa all over their credit cards, and they were like, Visa's like, we didn't, no, I don't think that's right. And they were like, oh yeah, we got to take it off, and they just removed it. So it's kind of one of those things that I would like to look more into it.
Yeah.
I think the only way we can make it down below 100K is if people truly believe BTC is extremely risky and realize the economy is affected. Well, we won't ever get there because Michael Saylor will just buy it all up. I was thinking about that the other day. If we only have like 15 million Bitcoin or 16 million Bitcoins after like everybody destroyed, throughout X amount and all this other stuff, I was like, Michael Saylor owns like what, 600,000, 500,000 Bitcoin. I'm like, dude, the guy literally owns like
Good night, Joe.
huge supply. Later, Joe. Talk to you later, dude. Guys, if you haven't, go follow him. He kicks ass. He's always in here. Sergio says, how long can the right shoulder go on the daily inverted head and shoulder before it's invalidated? I bought the dip, so I hope it plays out.
Well, it's not so much a question of, you want it to be somewhat reflective of the left shoulder, but it doesn't need to be symmetrical. The bigger issue is if we close below $110,800, then I have to start saying that the inverse head and shoulders it might be invalidated. So that's the bigger question to me than the length of the shoulder. So I just had to plug my trackpad in for a second, and I'll round out the show. Let me change the bottom banner.
I'm gonna change and the poll. Hey, we got 32 votes in the poll. You guys, appreciate each of you guys interacting with this. It is fire. We got Altcoin season happening in October. We are so close.
Let's go. So over here on Tap Tools, Cardano's, guys, and this is, if you're new to the show, this is the Cardano Spotlight. We do this every show. I'm your resident Cardano nerd here on the Blockchain Brew Show. So Cardano is my most exposed holding by a long shot. Maybe I should say by a moonshot. Anyways, Cardano's Nakamoto coefficient is among the highest in crypto, proving true decentralization at the consensus layer. So, guys, it's honestly not even close. Cardano has a higher Nakamoto coefficient than Bitcoin. It has a higher Nakamoto coefficient than everything. And the Nakamoto coefficient is arrived at by asking the question, how distributed is the consensus power among nodes? How many different nodes would have to come together to overthrow the system? And the number on that is just, you can see everything else down here, including Bitcoin. And you can see Cardano absolutely dwarfing all of these numbers. In a sense, this is going to be controversial. In a certain way, like, Cardano is more decentralized than Bitcoin. So,
when you're done, Calvin asked me to look at Mana real quick.
Okay.
No, not ADA. Yeah, sell your ADA by XRP, Trent.
Let's see what else we got. That'll be good for that. That'll do it for today on Cardano Spotlight. I will say that the Cardano Foundation is rolling out a roadmap, which the foundation has been pretty controversial lately, but their roadmap is, 8-figure ADA for stablecoin liquidity, and this is their, upcoming roadmap. DeFi liquidity initiative support, 220 million ADA delegation to new DREPs, $10 million RWA launch, 2 million ADA added to the venture hub, and expanded promotion and adoption. So there you go. That'll do it for today's Spotlight.
Well,
man, I'm a Cardano maximalist.
So Calvin said 6 month looks like 3 higher lows on. I'm like, what are you looking at, Calvin? Because I'm looking at this in the 6 month, and it's not. I don't see what you're seeing. I don't think 3 higher lows. I don't see that. I'm not gonna lie. On the monthly, I don't see it either.
Yeah, me neither.
Three higher lows. I don't see it. I really don't. Now, if we go to like maybe a 2 week, we might be able to get something to work here.
Well, maybe you go to the monthly chart and you look at the previous 6 candles. That might be what he's saying. But it's too marginal to say. Was holding 50K of ADA and switched it to Sweet last year. The best decision I've ever made.
I bet. Last year.
Yeah, that's good for you. I don't hate on anyone's. I don't hate on anyone here in this chat making money. Like that's great. But I for better or for worse, and I do believe that in the long run, it's going to be for the better. I'm loyal to the Cardano community, and that doesn't mean that I won't buy other things, won't trade other things, but it's where I have my conviction right now.
Well, Trent, real quick, I gotta finish this up. Okay, and then I want to touch on what you just said. What we got going on from Mana, which it's iffy, but we do have a green dot on Market Cipher. Okay, so we do have that. And it looks like obviously we're going to be playing out because we're entering the bull run, right? They also got a green dot on the weekly, and also looks like it could be playing out. It could be going up. Strength, Stokes, RSI look fine. Money flows coming in. We were deep in the red. Now money flows coming in. We could probably do moves. Okay, I'm not a believer in Mana. We do have a red dot on the weekly, so we're not going to do it this week. But maybe next week we start making that move to the upside. And also on your point, Sui, depending on when you bought it last year, you're only up 114% from where you bought it last year. Compared to ADA, you're at 120%. So yeah. ADA actually just slightly outperformed it year to date.
My average.
I do hold Sui, and I don't hold ADA right now. Yeah. Facts. But I would like to get a little bit of ADA eventually.
My average entry on ADA is like 30 cents. So, it's I'm not hurting on that. So.
But yeah, okay, guys. Well, we're wrapping up the show. Hey, thank you so much for tuning in. Trent, you can be live tomorrow or no? Yay or nay?
Yes, tomorrow I will. Yeah.
Okay. Well, expect to see Trent live tomorrow, TBT on the time. And hey, guys, thank you for showing up. We had a kick-ass show today. Lots of people in the chat. Actually, who was in the chat? I want to say thank you, Daily. Thank you, Costa. Thank you, Calvin. Thank you, Sergio. Thank you, Joe, who went to bed. Thank you, Lucas, who also went to bed. I gotta scroll up, man. The chat's been popping today. Ted, thank you for showing up today. Ted, supporting the channel, getting the comments rock and rolling. Jason Beck, haven't seen you in a minute, Jason. Thank you for showing up today. DCA and Pray, my dude, thank you for showing up. Thank you for being fired. Jim Saul, thank you for showing up as well. Muffhead, thank you for showing up. Connor, thank you for showing up. Check out your AVNT. Amelia, thank you for showing up. Real Meta, thank you for showing up. All right, guys, we'll catch you on the flippity flop. You guys have a good night. We'll see you later. All right, later. Deuces.
Peace.